Hey, what's up guys? It's Bye here with another Rise of Kingdoms video. Today, I will tell you guys how I tried to rebuild my old kingdom, 1291. At the end, I will also want to talk a little bit about 1916 and 1903. So I hope it's your bedtime because I am about to tell you a great story in Rise of Kingdoms. Once upon a time, there was a powerful Imperium kingdom, the kingdom of Ranuki. There was a young, innocent, 35 million power boy, and his name is Bye. He's migrated there in hope of achieving the greatest glory in Rise of Kingdoms. But little did he know, shit was about to hit the fan. So, why did I migrate to 1291? Back then, they made an announcement saying that only the top Imperium kingdoms can participate in Osiris League season. So when I saw that news, I rushed migrated to 1291. So far, it's still one of my biggest mistakes I ever made in Rise of Kingdoms. So, 1291 was one of the very early Imperium kingdoms. They were power hungry and cocky. We went in KvK Season 2 with lots of big powerful players. We thought we could beat everyone in that KvK. We did a 2 versus 6 or like a 3 versus 5. I can't remember exactly. We couldn't even beat 12A9 in a 1 versus 1. And there was some disagreement within the kingdom. We got one of the top alliance even made like a backdoor deal with the enemy kingdom. It was rough. It was a very rough KvK. We suffer a humiliating KvK loss. Lots of people migrated out, but we also got a lot of people migrated in as well. We were still able to maintain the Imperium status. We were ready to go for another Season 2 KvK. Back then, there were no Light vs Darkness KvK after KvK Season 2. And that is the reason why we went for another Season 2 KvK. So, 24 hours before we went into our second Season 2 KvK, the entire leadership team from my alliance decided to bail. They migrated to another kingdom 24 hours before our KvK started. We lost like a billion power. Right? Everyone was panicking because how could it possibly happen 24 hours before the KvK matchmaking? So someone got to step up to lead the alliance, and the young innocent boy Bye stepped up. I took over 291A alliance and we organized everything, right? Trying to calm down people and prepare us for the KvK. Going in a second Season 2 KvK, we faced 12A9 again. This time we have very bad allies. It was a 6 Imperiums KvK. The top 4 Imperium teamed up together to fight the bottom 4 kingdoms. Unfortunately for 1291, we were one of the bottom 4 kingdoms in that KvK. 1289 was at the top right corner between 1291 and another Imperium kingdoms. So we decided to do a 2 versus 1 against 1289. We beat them on the first day, but on the second day they pulled together and they pushed us back. 400 was the leading alliance of 1291 back then with all the big spender and the mega wells. They gave up so quickly. It was the final nail in the coffin for 1291. We lost a 2 versus 1 battle and we got locked in our zone 4. Lots of people migrated out. The kingdom leadership went inactive or migrated out. Everything was falling apart and the young boy Bye decided to take over the kingdom. That is when Bai Bai became king of 1291. That is when the story of how Bai Bai trying to rebuild 1291 began. Uh, Rebuilding a kingdom after a bad loss in KvK is hard. After like two bad losses in is even harder, right? People only remember how badly did you lose in your last KvK. Doesn't matter if you made some positive change in your kingdom, you can never able to erase the negativity. I try to work with the remaining people, rebuild the kingdoms, and help us ready for another KvK. The third KvK I have with 1291 was one of the first ever Light vs Darkness KvK. We were allied with 1307, 1304, and 1285. Our A kingdoms, 1307, 1304, were strong, but our B kingdoms, 1285 and 1291, was weak. 1291 did great in that KvK, right? The adjacent enemy kingdom, 1290, they had like 8 billion power, more than 1291. But we beat them in both Ancient Ruins and Out of Darkness. When Kingsland opened, 1291 held the ground for 16 or even more hours against 3 kingdoms. Right? I was super proud with how we did, and we helped our team won Kingsland. But that fight in Kingsland burned us out a lot. Myself personally, I zero myself to defend our territory. To keep on fighting in Kingsland, yeah, so that when the A kingdom finish with their the enemy kingdoms, they can come and help us, right? I didn't want 1291 to stop fighting, so that the A kingdoms, they had to fight like 2 versus 4, right? But in return, we had to fight 1 versus 3. So like after Kingsland, I was just pretty much chilling and waiting to train back my troops because I had no troop left. Our team had won, right? We push in the enemy zone, and since the winner is already decided and there is nothing to gain anymore from fighting, I reached out to the enemy kingdom, the adjacent kingdom, which is 1290, to offer them a deal to swap a Lion Fortress. They agreed initially. However, 3 hours before the level 9 pass opened, they changed it. They told us the deal is off, and they had all their city at the level 9 gate ready to invade us. I did not prepare for it because I thought the KvK is done, right? There is nothing to fight for. We got swap the Lion Fortress and the camp anyway. So what's the point, right? If both kingdoms agreed to it. So I did not set up any defense. I didn't do anything. So 3 hours were not enough time for us to get people online and to set up our defense, right? Our gate was pretty much left open. 1290 broke into our zone. We were defeated in our zone 4. I had 0 troop left to defend our zone. When you tell people to defend as a king, you gotta be there. But I wasn't able to do anything because I had no troop left to fight. I was there, but I wasn't there. The only thing I could do then was to watch us crumble down and just to feel helpless. We could have finished in a high note if everything had worked out the way that I planned. But you know, life sucks and people can't be trusted. One of the reasons why I am a lot more skeptical now, it is because that KvK, right? People betray. Like betrayal is part of KvK, I would say. So our team won that KvK. We didn't feel like we was a winner. Like 1291 was the only kingdom out of the 4 allies lost in zone 4. We lost more people again, right? More people migrated out. One reason was because we lost in zone 4, but I think the other reason was because of Almighty's governor event as well. I think I didn't control Almighty's governor event there. A lot of people wanted to have like a fixed Mighty's Governor event, and we also had a lot of people wanted like a free-for-all Mighty's Governor event as well. So it was tough. It was like a tough job for being a king and trying to please two group of people. I went with like a two fixed and two free-for-all Mighty's Governor event, but people still not happy. And this is when I started on my YouTube journey. My last attempt to rebuild the kingdom. I thought that if I become a YouTuber, I could bring more exposure to 1291, and hopefully we can get more players. I've made some YouTube videos before, but I've never shown my face before. But for 1291, I put my face on the line. I show my face to the rest of the world. So another 2-3 months gone by after our first ever Live vs Darkness KvK. We lost quite a lot of people, and we are now a sea kingdom. We have people who are willing to rebuild the kingdom remaining, as well as people who are unable to migrate or planning to migrate out soon. So I was still very hopeful and looking to get 1291 another KvK win. So coming the second Live vs Darkness KvK, one of our enemy kingdom cheat the system. They register as a C rank kingdom, but after registration started, they got like a 10 billion alliance migrated in. Long story short, we lost that KvK. But the sad part was we did not lose because of the kingdoms that cheat the system. We lost to our neighbor enemy kingdom, which is a D kingdom. A C kingdom lost to a D kingdom. I didn't know what to do anymore at this point. This is when I told myself that 1291 cannot be rebuilt. There's not much I can do now. I tried everything I could think of, and it's not working out. Right? After that KvK, I migrated to 1636, and this is the end of how Bye tried to rebuild a kingdom story. We have some big KvK coming to an end, and some kingdoms might be in trouble after suffering a rough loss in KvK. We have a 1916 loss to 1846 in their free-for-all KvK. People had high hope for 1916 before this KvK started, and were left disappointed. I can see quite a lot of people already migrated out from 1916. Here is the power ranking for the top alliance in 1916 here. Judging from the power ranking here for the top alliance, I can definitely tell that they have lost about 15 to 20 billion power since the KvK started. And well, they do lost quite a lot of power as well from fighting in this KvK, so that is another thing you need to keep in mind. But it does look to me that they lost at least 10 billion power from people migrated out. So, like, can 1916 be rebuilt? What Drago 10 is going to do? We will have to wait and see, right? Rebuilding a kingdom is tough. So best of luck to him. We also have a 1903 suffering a tough loss in their KvK as well. There were quite a lot of drama surrounding 1903 KvK. They wanted a free-for-all KvK as well with 1254, but at the end, they ended up with no allies and losing in their KvK. There is a small YouTuber. In 1903 trying to rebuild the kingdoms. He reminded me of myself when I first started making YouTube videos to help rebuild 1291. When I tried to be a YouTuber to help rebuild 1291, nobody helped me. I was a tiny YouTuber with like 100, 200 subscribers. I did not get a lot of exposure there. Now I am a small YouTuber, but I still want to help out other YouTubers who want to rebuild their kingdoms. I wasn't able to get help before, but it doesn't prevent me from helping other right now. So I want to give this player right here a big shout out for doing what he can to help rebuilding his kingdom. His YouTube channel is Hutso Get Away. 283 subscriber right now. He is trying to make a lot of like YouTube videos to help rebuilding 1903. So big shout out right there for him. So do you think 1916 and 1903 can rebuild after suffering losses in this KvK? Let me know in the comment section, guys. Thanks for watching the videos.